Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. Exciting little announcement specifically for UK citizens today who might be interested in taking advantage of this opportunity for a fairly limited time. So I figured I would give you this update, which is, again, for some people quite useful. So we're going to talk about it today. For the rest of you, I'll touch briefly on the subject. We're talking about Bulgaria, and we're going to dive into that subject now. If we haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you very much. And if you'd like help with the topics that we deal with here, international tax optimization, asset protection, forming companies, opening bank accounts, getting residencies, citizenships, etc., please reach out to me. You can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer, link in the description below. Or you can send a message to our websites, offshorecitizen.net and offshorecapitalist.com. All right, so here's the background. The background is that, of course, UK used to be a part of the EU, and then you had Brexit, and for UK citizens, the value of the UK passport plummeted. It was basically like the great passport stock market crash of 2019, or whatever, however you want to describe that. So yeah, the rating, the value of the UK passport down, not good. Now, prior to then, a lot of UK citizens were scrambling to get residency in the EU. Usually I was familiar with it mostly in Portugal and in Bulgaria. To this day, Cyprus still has some special provisions for UK citizens, so they make it a little bit easier. There's a simpler process. But this was useful because basically they could lock in this residency as EU citizens and, follow that through after Brexit. And so a lot of people were doing that, and that worked pretty well. Fast forward to today, typically EU citizens, UK citizens are not treated any differently than non-EU citizens, okay? So let's talk about what that means in Bulgaria. What that means in Bulgaria is when you come as a non-EU citizen into Bulgaria, you have to get a 1 year at a time visa unless you're applying for like permanent residency by investment or citizenship by investment. Then it's a little bit different, okay? Then you can get better terms. But if you're just talking about going as somebody who's not getting by investment route, it is 1 year at a time. You have to keep renewing, etc. And then there's some extra hassles with family, etc. Whereas EU citizens have a much easier process getting in. Okay, the process is just way more expedited. To give some contrast, you can basically just show up as an EU citizen, do some very basic paperwork, provide some basic things, and get residency for 5 years. Whereas if you're a non-EU citizen, you're in a situation where you have to first leave the country, get a Type D visa. That's a whole process on its own. Then you have to come into the country. Then you have to apply for residency. And then you renew it every year, okay? Well, great news. We have a procedure we can do right now for UK citizens where they can basically act as though they are EU citizens until the end of the year. So it's a limited time. That's why I mentioned, it might not last or whatever. But yeah, between now and the end of December, if you are a UK citizen and you're interested in getting another residency, maybe one that you can hold for 5 years without having to renew, without minimum presence requirements, etc. It's particularly interesting for a bunch of UK nationals who are they have families in, Pakistan or India or, Sri Lanka or some other part of the world, and they want to be able to bring them to the EU. This is a nice access to the EU. Now it's granted not Schengen, but still, a definitely decent little option for many people. And so, yeah, it's possible to do that, to make it pretty straightforward. For the rest of you, unfortunately, it doesn't apply, but I am noticing more and more people who seem to be moving to Bulgaria and kind of taking advantage of the relative openness, as well as, kind of friendly tax status, low cost of living, etc. And so, you may be interested in going and taking advantage of it in one of another ways. There are definitely some things that can be arranged to make it pretty easy, not too especially difficult, not too especially expensive, as well as we've talked, of course, about permanent residency options and citizenship options. There's a little bit of delay on some of the citizenship stuff right now with respect to you have to get this investment certificate. The investment certificate, people are not issuing them basically, so there's some kind of legislative delays like that. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. So yeah, if you're interested at all, please reach out to me. Again, you can send a message to our websites, offshorecitizen.net, offshorecapitalist.com. Happy to help you. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.